What? Yes, yes, we are doing sectioned, analated. Annihilated, don't worry, annihilated. This album fucking burns my ears right off me bloody head, mate. It's just completely fucked up. It's just so fucked in the best way possible. I mean, holy fuck. The album name is some good foreshadowing, for sure. Because this is beyond fucking heavy, boys. This is seismic shattering of fucking tectonic plates here, boys. This is just fucking grainy and dense, like thickets of tiger wire, and that is in no small part thanks due to the production. I love the way they engineered each instrument to run with compatibility and like linear fashion, despite the potential for, disharmonic, bloody cacophonies at almost every fast breakneck fucking hardcore passage on this album. And don't get me started on that all-encompassing fucking relentless, dense, grainy fucking guitar riffage, boys. There is a motley of differing tonal styles that the guitars explore on this album, from sludge metal to hardcore to genty breakdowns, and I fucking love every single one to no exception. Synchronicity simply requires to be exampled here for that insane whirling guitar and heart jags and loops over those pounding fucking drums before the descension into madness on this track. I mean, fuck. With those vocals that finish it, they are just a definition of manic. They're just fucked. Starved Lives as well, the song prior to Synchronicity, goddamn, I fucking love how those drums are being battered and how those raw screaming guitar leads harmonize with them before the tempo of the entire song slows down like a train struggling to break. See, the drum work and the production overlaying it is one of my favorite aspects of this record, the simple notes being especially clear and clean, or at least distinguishable. And fuck, does this bloke play his kit crisply or what, boys? And with power, the bass drum consistently being used in those bruising rhythms and fills to maximum effect. And fuck, there are a couple fills on Bede Noir which were just insanely fast, and the way the dude screams, "Do you hate me?" on this track just again is just, technical classification fucked, alright? Fucked. Victorious Never Ending's drums simply require a mention here as well for how the fills and sheer intensity carries the weight of this track alongside these blood-curdling screams, again with the lyrics reflecting on the internal struggles of being with desperation. The sparse MIDI embellishments were more than welcome surprise as well, because they help enrich the album listening experience whenever they are utilized for just how generic and hopelessly sterile most other bands in this genre sound by comparison. The back end of Portrait, for example, feels like a weird psychotic B-side off of DJ Shadow's Introducing, and just how that artificial drum pattern alternates and oscillates against some harsh transmission textures. And don't get me started on those fucking lyrics again, boys. Fucking hell. Jesus fucking Christ, mate. Now, influences here can range from Meshuggah to Converge to Angers to Nails, and the intensity in which they mesh these styles together is seamless and engrossing. And speaking of seamless, the interchangeable tempos from track to track is the very definition. They seemingly have an equal amount of proficiency in unpacking those genre-bending soundscapes with transitions even in individual songs. Take the closer, Through the Trees, a 5-minute one, which is pretty lengthy for this album, by the way. And it features both throbbing breakdowns and earthen, ravaging hardcore passages that are then followed by this crescendo, this completely brutal, shrill climax that to me remains almost genreless before finishing on some dark, throbbing piano keys and somber, howling guitar. It's eerier than some horror movie scenes I've seen. It's just such a haunting way to finish this album. It compounds the desperation you hear in the lyrics and the instrumental weight tenfold. Though I will say here, the slower Meshuggah-esque polyrhythmic chugs and jumps have an air of similarity to their progressions, despite how enjoyable they are for the thickness and the crunchiness of the guitar tone. I think some variation in some chords or keys in one way or another would have worked in this album's favor. The vocals, as I've already hinted at, are so coarsely levered and raw, never sacrificing a moment to expel pure anger and angst at the pointlessness of life. They're one of the best aspects of this album, somehow rivaling the guitar, drum, and production work and enjoyability for me, which is honestly rare in this genre. I mean, I love uncovering these Bandcamp bands where you can appreciate the power, talent, and intensity in the vocals instead of having to put up with more inferior forms. The lyrics as well are so dark, relatable, morbid, and sometimes even suicidal. The song Release hints at that alone in the title before hitting you with the lyrics. You are not my audience, the words of the Übermensch. I will release myself from this burden of this life. Yeah, fucking Nietzsche, eat your heart out. They reference self-awareness in the same song being useless, but here I'd argue with them and say, nah mate, the fact that you realize you need to be better and bolder and more unique in this category of music when there's a sea of other Bandcamp, metalcore, hardcore acts out there shows to me that it's pretty fucking useful, mate, because it's setting you apart from the pack. You know? Nah, but seriously, I just love this album to bits. It's not as emotionally taxing as I maybe made it out to be. It's more just an exhilarating, cacophonous mess. It can be exhausting, and I wouldn't call this music exactly ideal for some of the more distinguished wedding parties out there, but fuck, I can barely lay a critique here without doing some injustice to the attention to detail these guys have laid out in their songs. I suppose one or two more ambient breaks or some variation in the genty guitar leads or some contrasting cleans would have been good, but those aren't considerations which really corral my enthusiasm for listening to this record all the way through. So yeah, this is just airtight, really hard to find holes, also very unique, just fucking brutal, and you should just listen to it. Fucking 4.6 out of 5 lemons, boys. Is that fucking good? Fuck, I'll just catch you later, alright, mate? Fact. By the way, Tooth Grinder, fucking fantastic song title for that kind of a song as well. Fuck. Anyway, I'll just catch you later, boys. What? Jesus fucking Christ, mate.